We have more signs that Killer Instinct could be making a comeback, and it's Christmas, so let's talk about Xbox's year. All right, welcome back to another video, guys. If you enjoy daily Xbox content, make sure to hit that subscribe button. So firstly, Merry Christmas, everybody. I know this video is coming out on Christmas Eve, but I won't be putting anything out tomorrow, which I usually don't put anything out on Saturdays, but just in general, it's Christmas. Going to be spending time with my family, so I hope everybody out there has a fun, relaxing, and just overall good Christmas. But I did want to talk about two things here. Firstly, I got tagged in this tweet here from Herden Algot4, so thanks for that tag, because this is some interesting stuff, and it has to do with Killer Instinct, as we are seeing Xbox hiring some former WB Studios, NetherRealm Studios talent over to come and work at Xbox. Now here's the first person, Aaron Peppergardes, who was previously at NetherRealm and was also an executive producer at WB Games, is now currently working as an executive producer for Xbox Game Studios. Now this is one we've seen before, we've talked about it before, and it was already getting people to start to think that, are these hirings for the reason of trying to bring back Killer Instinct? But there has been another hire, and it is Gavin Freyberg, who is now the technical director at Xbox Game Studios, and he was previously at WB Games. So these are two big hires from these studios that obviously will have some knowledge about fighting games. Mortal Kombat, NetherRealm, one of the best fighting games around, and we know that Phil Spencer has talked about bringing back Killer Instinct. The problem he's had is finding the right team and the right people to work on it, and just finding the overall time to work on Killer Instinct to bring it back, because there are so many other projects out there that obviously they don't want to rush in. They want to make sure that if they do release a new Killer Instinct, which I really do think they should, because a fighting game genre that's exclusive to the Xbox ecosystem is definitely something that is missing, and I think Killer Instinct could really fill that void, as it already has a huge fan base. It's a very well-known IP, but if they do bring it out, it has to be a great fighting game. And hiring guys like this to come over and probably provide advice, build a team, and just overall their experience is going to help create a brand new Killer Instinct, whether it's a remake, a remaster, or anything like that. I think that this is something we could expect going forward in the future. I would love to see it, like I said, or even if they were to just go out and make a brand new fighting game that is new to the Xbox ecosystem. I would love to see that as well. But I think the smart thing would definitely be just to go with Killer Instinct. It's a game we haven't seen since 2013 when it launched with the Xbox One, and people want it. And now I want to talk about just Xbox, because it's been just such a great year for the Xbox Series X and S. There's a lot of people out there who are really enjoying Xbox, and there's also the other side of people who are, no matter what Xbox does, trying to make it look bad or bring it down or anything. But the fact of the matter is, the Xbox Series X and S are easily the best consoles to play on right now, and we're by and far the best platform to play on in 2021 for multiple different reasons, from spanning from Xbox Game Pass, cloud gaming, and even their first party Xbox exclusives. So let's take a quick look at just kind of, so this is an article I was going through, and it does a good job of summing up just what made Xbox so great in 2021. Firstly, cloud gaming. Now, cloud gaming is going to be the future of gaming across all platforms, in my opinion. PlayStation and maybe even Nintendo will eventually get into it. Nintendo's always last to get into that stuff. It's always been like that. But I do see them eventually jumping into some sort of cloud gaming platform, whether it's for their first party games or for their retro games or anything like that. But Xbox has taken the lead on it, and I think will always be the leader because of the infrastructure they have with Azure. And we've seen just the expansion of cloud gaming, more games getting touch controls, the addition of cloud gaming on your iPhones, even though you have to go through the browser, because we know with the court cases and all that kind of stuff, and Apple blocking Xbox. We see them do the clarity boost thing through cloud gaming on your browser, where essentially you just click clarity boost and boom, you have a sharper picture, and that's been extremely cool. And a lot of the improvements has to also do with the fact that they've made that full transfer over to the Series X in the server stack, which just overall improves the cloud gaming experience. So cloud gaming has continued to grow, and it's going to continue to expand, and they're going to add more features in and just get overall better. Then we talk about just the amount of games that Xbox has put out this year, whether that's first party, third party, Xbox Game Pass, FPS boost games, backwards compatibility games that they've added. It's just been so much content. No matter when you log on to Xbox, you always have something to play. And I feel like unless you have an Xbox, you don't fully understand the value and or at least unless you have Xbox Game Pass. But thing is, with the Xbox Series X, you still have that ability to pop in like a 360 disc and play it. But it's just overall, unless you're within the Xbox ecosystem, you don't fully get it. Like, you see people talking about how they always have stuff to play, how it's a platform where content is non-stop, and then you see people who aren't on Xbox and just making jokes like, oh, they have this game, but no huge AAA whatever game out there, which is completely false, especially with the end of this year with the release of Forza Horizon 5 and Halo Infinite. But if you're in the Xbox ecosystem, you're always playing something. It doesn't matter, and you're always entertained. And at least that's my experience. And it's been probably one of my favorite years in gaming just because of that, where I can log in and I can jump into experiences I would have never thought about jumping into. And a lot of them have been indie games. And we take a look at like all the day one Xbox games that have come out, and there's just so many day one Xbox games. So from January to April, I want to highlight the medium as well. There are so many games that came out day one you got to jump into right away. But just think about these 4 big games just within these 4 months. You had the medium, which was a highly anticipated like thriller, horror, suspense game, I guess you want to say. I really did enjoy it. Played it all the way through on stream, and it was a ton of fun. We got Octopath Traveler. Yes, that's an older game. Yes, it came out on the Nintendo Switch a couple years ago, but just a very, very good JRPG. I actually did play that on the Nintendo Switch when it first came out. Then you had the huge one here, MLB The Show 21, which was previously a PlayStation exclusive, getting launched day and date on Xbox Game Pass, where if you were on PlayStation, you still had to pay full price for it. That was just such a massive announcement when that happened. And then as well as with Outriders coming out day and date on April 31st, a game I don't think anybody thought was going to be coming out onto Game Pass on day one, as they announced this just like a week or 2 weeks or something like that, very close to the release date that it was coming on Game Pass, which was just a huge thing. So yeah, Xbox didn't have any first party games from January to April, but they kept you in the ecosystem with constant great releases on Xbox Game Pass. And then from May to August, now this was another great couple of months of Game Pass games. These are only the day and date games. These are only the day one games. There was a bunch of games that came out on Game Pass as well that weren't day one, that got people excited and had them playing games. But for the day one games, you had Dungeons and Dragons Dark Alliance, Microsoft Flight Simulator, Hades, and Psychonauts 2. Those are just 4 of the major games that came out. But as you remember, Psychonauts 2 launching in August, a first-party Xbox game, one of the best games to come out this year and nominated for Game of the Year and many other awards. Just an incredible showing from Double Fine. And to me, what it did more than anything was it showed that the acquisition of Double Fine into Xbox Game Studios is going to be an incredible acquisition, because they make great games, great narratives, and then with all of the resources Microsoft provides, I can't wait to see what they are going to be releasing in the future. And we know that they are working on multiple projects. And then finally, you had the just absolutely incredible end of the year when it comes to Xbox and Xbox Game Pass. So there's a bunch of stuff here that came out, but for me, the highlights were The Artful Escape, just a really great experience. If you haven't checked it out yet, I highly recommend it. And then Back 4 Blood came out. And now I haven't played too much Back 4 Blood. I'll be completely honest. I did play the beta, but this is just still a big title to come out day and date on the service that a lot of people were excited for. Forza Horizon 5. I mean, what else can we say about Forza Horizon 5? An incredible game, one of the best games this year, if not the best for a lot of people. Just a great achievement by Playground Games. Halo Infinite, my favorite game this year by a mile. It's the most fun I've had playing a video game in 2021. And it wasn't in my Game of the Year talk because it came out so late in like previous videos, but we are now Christmas Eve. I've already played over 80 hours of Halo Infinite. Came out on December 8th, and it is my favorite game this year. Every time I jump in, I just have just so much damn fun with it. So, and 343 did a great job. Yes, the game isn't perfect. Yes, it's going to continuously be updated, and they're going to add more features and all that kind of stuff. But they did a wonderful job with Halo Infinite, both the multiplayer and the single player. And then the Gunk. a short experience, but a fun experience, and I highly recommend checking that out if you haven't yet. So just so many great games. And yeah, as I'm scrolling up here, I forgot to mention Age of Empires 4. So Age of Empires 4 as well, another huge day and date game that came out in October. So 2021 has been incredible. 2022 is going to be great as well. And Xbox is just getting started when you think about the amount of releases that are going to be coming out from their first party studios once they start coming out on an even more consistent basis. This has been easily one of the best years in Xbox history that I can think of, and one of my favorite years in gaming. So that's it for me, guys. Let me know what you think about this stuff in the comments below. What do you think about Killer Instinct? Should they bring it back sooner rather than later? And the hires that they've recently done from WB Games and 2021 and Xbox. What are your thoughts on the year? If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button. If you're new here, you like what you saw throughout this video, I'd really appreciate you hitting that subscribe button. Help this channel grow, help grow this community, so we can have great conversations in the comments below. Merry Christmas, everybody. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your support, and I'll catch you in the next video.
We'll be right back.